So hello and welcome to another episode of Stephen's Four Wheels. As you can see, you join me at my world headquarters today, and we're going to be talking about the cost today. And I've been crunching some numbers, and we're going to be looking at what the actual cost of running two Mercedes-Benz is. Now, one of the things that I will mention first of all is that it depends what Mercedes-Benz you buy to how much it's going to cost you. If you buy an AMG, it is going to cost you more. Obviously, servicing, parts are all going to be a lot more expensive to do than for my cars, for example. So I'm going to focus on my cars that I own as an example, and hopefully that'll give you an idea of actually the cost of owning a Mercedes and a fairly standard Mercedes model. So while I've been crunching my numbers, I divided my table into two parts. The first section I'm going to look at is the sort of things that you legally have to do. For example, you legally have to insure a car, you have to tax a car, and you also have an MOT in a car as well. I've also thrown in a service because generally you have a service once a year as well. So as you can see, we've got our comparison table here. The first row we're going to look at is the tax. As you can see, the tax for the SLK is £210, whereas the B Class is only £30. That's a difference of £180, and that is the biggest difference between the two. Actually, insurance is about the same for me. Again, that's based on what my own circumstances are. Everyone's circumstances are different when it comes to insurance. You'd also see servicing and MOT. That is just for a basic oil and filter change and an MOT, and that generally comes to around £200. That's a sort of rough ballpark figure. So as you can see, totals for things that we have to do, which obviously tax, insurance and MOT, and I also generally do a service every year as well. So the total for the SLK, you're looking at £923. Whereas the B Class, the main difference being the tax is quite a bit cheaper to insure, which is just £740. Now for the second part of our table, we're going to be looking at the running costs, and the main running cost that you will encounter is going to be fuel. Now again, depending on which model Mercedes you buy, if you buy a great big V8, it's going to cost you more in fuel to run than my B Class, for example. So I'm going to show you some real-world figures from what I guess in terms of my MPG and what sort of mileage I do and how long that's going to last you as well. So let's have a look at the fueling costs for the SLK and the B Class. So first of all, I looked at the average MPG, what do I get from each car, and on average I get 38 miles per gallon out of the SLK and 52 out of the B Class. The next thing I looked at was how big the tanks are, and I was quite surprised to learn that actually the SLK's tank is slightly bigger than the B Class's tank. So the SLK has a 60 litre fuel tank, whereas the B Class has a 50 litre tank. Now obviously we have to look at fuel costs, which are going up and up at the moment all the time here in the UK. At the time of recording, the average fuel price, now obviously bear in mind the SLK is petrol, which is why it's different here, and the B Class is a diesel. 136 for a litre of petrol and 140 for a litre of diesel. Now this means if you were to fill the tank, you'd be spending £81.60 to fill the tank of the SLK, and to fill the tank of the B Class you'd be looking at £70. But however, how does this give you a range? What type of range based on the MPG that I've started to look at? How much of a range you get out of these cars? So to fill the tank to the brim, you get a range of 501 mile out of the SLK, and for the B Class it's 570, which doesn't sound like you get much more out of the B Class, but you have to bear in mind that it does have a slightly smaller fuel tank. So a few subscribers did comment on my video last time, and unfortunately I haven't been able to access them comments for some reason. I click on them and it just comes with a blank screen. Even though I've had a notification come through to say people have commented on your video and I want to get back to you, I can't because it doesn't actually show up as a comment on the video. So apologies if you have commented. I haven't been ignoring you, I just haven't been able to respond for whatever reason. Regardless anyway, if you like the video, make sure you hit that like button. If you want to ask a question, anything else, you can always directly message me, or you can also drop your message in the comments below, and I'll try and do my best as usual to get back to you and answer the question. Also make sure you hit that subscribe button to see any of my future videos as well. So it's goodbye from me, and I'll see you next time.